As if I owe you love. Stop screaming for love. Why did he help me with my illness? I haven't paid him yet. You're not going to do that. If you want to pray, pray for yourself. Destroy, hurriedly grinning, said. Stop killing women. Don't be angry. That's all I'm saying. If you stop sending messages, just... Suddenly, someone came to talk later. She came back suddenly. Suddenly, the judge came forward and said, You are a bad prostitute. My son asked the judge, What are you doing here? The elders were also bewildered when I saw him show up here. The judge stared. You dare to seduce another man behind your back? I don't follow the path like that. I have to ask your family for an explanation today. She hurriedly told the judge, This place is the hall of the dragon of our world. If you don't want to be thrown out, get out. The judge contemptuously asked to throw me out. Dragon, you guys are so big. In the beginning, he prayed to God. That's why we're getting engaged. Now you have enough hair and want to cancel the kiss. Wind up the voice. The pilot's trial still needs long-term planning. I will send someone to inform the judge. Please come back to Cho. The judge was so angry. Uncle Van Feng, just with that word. You can kick me out today. We have to bring back the gods. If not, I will show you my hand. It made Van Feng angry to choke the words of the Nie Li, immediately said, Don't talk anymore. My father turned to the judge and said I was a woman. It's not a bet on the family business. It's not your supplies. It's called a basic engagement that we didn't agree to. We have the right to choose our own love. I don't need you to know. The hot-blooded judge asked again, What the hell are you talking about? Women are toys, you know. Do you know how many women have I played like you? No more self-appreciation. You're people for the good. It doesn't take you out as a trade. That makes me wonder. I was in a hurry to say no. Children loudly declare judgment. I want to fight with you. If you win, I will volunteer to follow you. If you lose, I want to get out of my sight forever. The judge heard that and laughed. You want to fight me? Are you crazy? Turn around and tell them you all heard it. Stop talking to yourself. So let's just make that decision. End of the judgment. Immediately imagine fit with the spirit love. Screaming furiously. Makes the elders scared to shit their pants. Judge claims, we will take the law very seriously today. When you stop, calmly challenge. The idea of going to court is quite surprising. Suddenly, a powerful electric lightning burst out. The body of the child stops, lamb's explosive airflow. The astonished judge asked, You're also in gold. Even Van Feng was bewildered to ask, Why do children love spirits so much? The electricity suddenly came out. Some of the elders nearby were also injured. That screams a second later. This electric lightning hits the court. Make him bend in time to support and turn back. Stop, the cold hands continue to hit. Torpedo ballast electric generated. Makes the judge wobble, trying to curse the hateful. I despise you. That's him, with his mouth wide open, a sphere hits. Although the corn is twisted and flinching to make a comment, this judge is not bad. But I always like wildflowers. No effort to practice at all. We will not lose him. She puts her hand up to the front of this blow. Suddenly, the judge's technique was broken. The lightning bolt hit him hard. Made him stretch to the wall post. like a pterosaur. Extremely painful. He fell to the ground feeling guilty. Why are you so bad? He had to go back to his original cold. But the mirror is in full swing. Gas humiliation. How can this scum be my husband? The bloody mad judge stood up. Tell me again, I'm serious. Not yet pictured. Is immediately pulled by the electricity of the child. Stop emitting. That jerks the numbness. She's got a lot of anger coming out of her. The cold is full of contempt. And yet, he's still bent on cursing the hateful thing. It's full of tigers. But in time to do something was startled by the high-voltage power supply. But screaming all the time to make Van Feng stand like the shore. Fish right now, enraged to think, I will absolutely not obey your orders. Let's become someone else's. Only that person. It can make us willing to rely. At this time, the judge was beaten up. Hiake the heart screamed to stop the child. How dare you touch me? My family will not forgive you. This word made me stop screaming. Don't threaten me. She immediately descended. Give him high voltage power. Makes him jerk his brain. It doesn't stop there. The lightning keeps coming. To make the village appellate miserable. Stop high exasperated monastics, fatal blow. The judge trembled, pleading for my life. Please don't kill me. Destroy quickly shouted to stop the child. Spies, stop your hands. If you fight again, the pilot will die. She immediately stopped and regained her strength. The judge is laughing at the ground. He returned to his original form. I can't believe my body is so strong. So strong is this woman. That's crazy. I'm also worried about covering my mouth. The judge was beaten for serious injury. After returning to God, holy world definitely won't let it go easily. Yes, there will be a way. The judge here is moaning motionless on the ground. Van Feng ordered him not to bring the judge to the government. Destroy anxiety to question the pilot, fatally injured. Or not just whether a little bit has brought back. Then the gods of the world wrote down their sins. But the writer was determined to carry it. The staff immediately carried him out. Stop worrying and go back to your father. Girls cause trouble and destroy. Also, Itchy Mouth said more. Stop female messages. Do you know how to do that? It will bring disaster. To kill the dragon in our world? But Van Feng assured me. Why don't you go back and practice? The sky has fallen and there is tea. Stop listening and agree to say that. I'll get back down here. In my mind, if the gods of the world really want to touch us, the photographer can definitely cope. The Holy Spirit at this time. The two men standing in the corner trembled. 7, when looking at the pink face. He asked furiously, do you want to kill me? I told you to stop for a moment. I can't believe I went looking for a pharmaceutical company. Being beaten to death is worth it. The judge spoke up. My father's dead. That's my fiancé. But run to another man. You told me to be patient. The snow has oppressed us. Now the whole world doesn't see us. Has God ever been so bad? Father, I watched that ugly woman beat you. How pathetic. You must help me reclaim justice. The pink judge shouted, a woman can't fight back for anything. What a waste. The current snow. It's monitoring our every move. We can't do it either. Dealing with the Dragon Kingdom. The little one is relentless. Wait until we're done. What are you afraid of snow? The child is not obedient to punishment. This debt, sooner or later, the world will be settled. But not right now. The judge is willing to tell you. On the side of Yizi's special hospital, and so on. Although he had previously been expelled, the regent returned. Happy to say stop, you are here. The photographer also asked to stop. Why are you here? Nie Li worried to say the photographer. The judge came to my house. Surprised, he asked if he could find me. Stop listening lightly, but I was hurt. Was abandoned by my father. He sent them back to the gods. That makes you stupid. Then laugh happily, haha. Last time I was sold alive. I dare to find you to cause trouble. Someone like him has to teach a lesson. Best not to go to bed for half a year. The child is afraid to say, but they will surely come back to avenge us. What to do now? I don't want to get involved with my family because of me. The photographer said, you don't have to worry. God of the world now. You can't even keep yourself safe. They don't have the strength to deal with the dragonflies. Moreover, we are about to strike hands with the gods of the world. Don't worry. Hearing this word surprised two women. A few days later, Kwangwikai City is still peaceful and peaceful. Because they had just been attacked, the whole city is now under attack. The party's finally here. According to the early announcement of the government, the noble families of the nations are gathered here. Chen Fei Long also appeared. The pink side also pulls here enough. He glanced at the great friction and thought, this is the one that killed the ghost. He waved his hand to his subordinates. I whispered as if there was a conspiracy. The officer immediately took orders to leave. People come every winter. It's very exciting. The red man walked into the city cold. Inside, all the masters are gathered in the capital. Dry charming LAN weakness wearing a matching dress. Grinning asked the photographer, do you think this dress is beautiful? Stupid photographer said, whether it is beautiful or not has nothing to do with me. I'm not saying this, lady. What are you clinging to me for? You look at my tattered clothes. I knew immediately that I was poor. But LAN said, your outside is normal. But from your eyes, I can see you're a good man. Even more now. Who dares to despise you in this city? You are completely different from the men. It's no different than Kier FLIs. I think you look pretty good talking about it. Suddenly, she was stunned when I see the photographer again. Makes her lose interest. When I get bored and look for it quickly, it gets dark. Ask the photographer here. You said my father told you to bring me here. What to do in Secret 7 of the city government. The festival is about to start. Once we reach out to the gods of the world, they're certainly not going to go from tricks to counterattacks. Until then, we have no way of controlling the situation. The dead man anxiously asked, but what does this have to do with us being here? You're talking here. Suddenly, he put out his hand to set the boundary. She's locked up here to keep her safe. The photographer explained, this is Master's arrangement. IPZ angrily said, let me go. Why can we hide here alone? The photographer said he couldn't do that. The Holy Spirit once attacked. You are the woman of the snow. The world is easy, the most attacked. You are the weakness of all of us. So it's imperative to be in this place. Don't worry, it's a god. It can't cause big waves and big winds. Wait here, I'll be back soon. Death is screaming, come back here. If you don't let me out today, don't come to see me later. But the photographer has left. It makes the dead think. How could I have been fooled by the photographer? I can't go out this time. We can't break this barrier. You can only wait 3 days, and it will open automatically. But it's war tonight. If your father or daughter is in danger, I must go out. When she thought of this, she shed tears. On the government side right now, the laughter that comes out. People talk happily. The air is buzzing. At this point, the photographer went to ask the shock we have met in the back. It's a strange aesthetic. I don't know him. Shock IP laughed, haha, I know you. This guy is a squirrel. Chief of the secret army. The squirrel said we noticed. I've been coming to you for a while. I can't believe you broke the red line. The soul of the sea. You can practice to that level. It's so unexpected. Looks like we should retire too, the Fire Lord. The future is the world of your youth. Modest photographer said. I'm kidding. The older the senior, the more flexible. The children still have to ask you to protect them. Here's a little bit of a wish for me. As I said, he showed me some chimpanzees. It shocked me. When he was hesitating, the priest next to him said, just take it. I also received it. If you don't accept, I'm afraid this photographer is not happy either. The squirrel laughed hee-hee. Then the old man did not obey. Thinking, maybe it's because I bet both money and money. Meanwhile, the red body of the face is full of discomfort. Looking at the air right now, it's very noisy. They say the masters of the world are here. Just sit in the assigned position. The judge wondered where the snowman was. However, IP is about to appear, but the elders only have him an IP here. My family is sitting in the middle. It's no different, sitting right in everyone's eyes. To take any action, it will also be discovered by all nations. The photographer is now quietly watching. I think the family of those who stopped coming. Then I looked over and saw that 6 people were there. I have to remind them a little later. Suddenly I looked over. I saw my family rush to them. Hai and Min are both happy to call for a cup of tea. Hai spoke up. I can't believe the 2 leaders of the snow. Everyone is so indifferent to you. The master also said, I hear the owner is your father-in-law. Then I am the owner's family, haha. He reminded the old man. I'm afraid something big will happen tonight. It's time to bother everyone. Good protection for the people. The photographer was impressed. This society is not simple. Speak up and give it to us. Then she turned to the sword. Follow me and the sword will come immediately. He whispered tonight once the war broke out. Take care of that red man. Even if you don't fight, you also have to hold on to him. The sword understood. Then asked the judge, I'm looking for the name here. The jury was annoyed. I wonder why that boy with wings keeps changing. Showing off his own love spirit. When the party starts, they all hold their own. Suddenly this time, Van Fong saw the photographer and laughed happily. Greet the young photographer. The photographer replied hello to the lady in the office. This time, Thank you for taking care of the baby. It was the spirit of these two young men. Are deeply unpredictable. The photographer laughed and said that the customer was ill. Nie Li is a very good friend of mine. Grandmother doesn't need to pay attention. First time meeting. Here's a little giveaway. I hope my father takes it. He said he brought a fish. When opened, the target is gaping. When the sky is high. The others stared at it. Ask a lot of high-class knitting medicine. Then there's also the Kai chimpanzee chain. Let's spend all the SAO. Why didn't I give birth to a good daughter? Van Feng. Silly people say the spy photographer, SAO we can. But Regent, laughing, I have been helping you a lot lately. This is also a thank you gift. She looked back and smiled with stop. Make her shy. Van Feng aesthetic. Although heard, he had a close relationship with IP. But Noble Disciple 3. The four sisters are very normal. Think about it, and think more. More than now. He was the first genius of Kwang Wei Kai City. The fisherman who followed him did not have to suffer. And then they both laughed. The judge over here looked annoyed. I think my son was injured twice. It's all because of you. It's so annoying to think. Then he turned to the judge. I put inflammation through there. Test the power of the winged Kier. Go out and find someone to investigate. How are they related after all? Maybe we can pull it over here. The judge received the order. But wonder, he asked why he was staring at us. Then the inflammation and the kidney also came. It made Van Feng nervous. God's people are here. The elders were afraid to shoot people. Yi Squirrel looked to ask Black Kim if the martial artist needed. Can you help the photographer? Spider-Man folded hand replied, Kid, this photographer has never suffered before. Let's just sit and watch. Maybe the photographer can deal with it easily. More. You can see the power of the young man next door. Where is he? The squirrel was surprised to hear that. I asked him how he believed in photography. Here, the judges stood in front of the photographer. Fold your hands full of challenges. Have you heard anything from the people around you? The world of medicine was once associated with the gods of the world. But the dragon family is now from kissing. Another name in your mouth. Tell, this is something that the gods of the world can do. That's why the judge came to the door. The results of the evaluation of the young master was suspended knee, direct hit for serious injury, and was carried out of the Dragon Kingdom. The whole crowd asked why it was possible. The judge is that the Golden Queen loves the Spirit Master. People on the other side speak up. God has had a bit of bad luck lately. The world's dragonflies are now dropping stones into the well. Is that too much? Another name countered. That little vigilante did a lot of bad things early on. Should have met the alarm. Stop being such a good kid. Why do you have to take the name of that court playboy? But this time, the judge came to stop the child. At the academy, I saw you with another man. Behind the judge. No, I dare to shout like that. Stop trying to tell you something. Discontinue children. I don't need you to manage anything. Van Feng. Last time I sinned against the gods. They will come to cause trouble. But in front of people like this, what do? Judge 2 contemptuously said, hit the black heart, then SAO or good. I want people not to know unless they do. There are many masters of the world like that. Today, I must reveal your prostitute's face. Saying these words makes me very angry. He laughed again, he said. Sao has not restored Sao. Your betrothal is a court of two great chiefs. I can see that, but I want to deny it. God, we are easy to bully. You'd better come back with me. Follow me back. Goddess word, this is ignored. If not according to your will. The photographer is now speaking up. Why are you such a monster? Do you want to go to your house or not? It's her thing. You want to force marriage. Fortunately, I stopped having a good mood. She won't do anything to you. But we're not like that. I met someone as hot as me. Then we can't control our own behavior. I told you, he's emitting hot gas. Then step on a beam. It makes the judge startled. The judge asks you what you want to do. If you beat a woman, are you a man? Shen Tu thought, at the last party, this boy took the knife. Prepare to cut real people. I don't know when he's mad. How will things be done? Stop shaking now. When the regent protected her like that. Destroy hurriedly go to dispel, the mediator said. The owner's party is about to begin. Are we supposed to be? Stop arguing about this issue. Gen 2 turned to shout out loud and laughed. Hi, of course, I don't know. Afraid of others saying. Dare to ask for help. It's also about opening people's eyes. I can't hear the sword anymore. Then hit him with the sword and immediately take orders. And he fluttered his wings, and it just happened. It's scary. There is danger and inflammation next to cold. He came to talk to the young man. The gas shouldn't be that heavy. But the sword just glared at one. It's amazing. Grown, such a young person already has such great power. Then use all your power. He immediately applied force to his arm. Then clenched the arm of the sword. The photographer looked at it and realized it was a fake black gold. Except for the red. No one can win the sword. This side, though, uses its full power. But the sword just stood still like a twisted statue. What it feels like. Make him look young at all costs. It's a bit of bravery, but it's too self-indulgent. You think I'm going to grab your hand? Then he burst out into the fire in his hand. That's what makes you realize that you're paralyzed. Inflammation. Chuang rushed to prevent inflammation. Stop hand. The squirrel also shouted, stop. You want to kill him in the crowd. This is also amazing. Jump up with the heat of this move. I am so impressed by such a young man. Should have been dedicated to Kuang Wei Kai. Become a god. Killing a killer like that is too cruel. Immediately, the inflammatory process has developed paralysis into the arm of the sword. Makes his sleeves burn. The wise judge laughed, haha. Then introduced Theo. Our paralysis, our inflammation, can melt the sperm. Even so, but the sword glared. I told you not to stop my feet. And then steamed the inflammatory arm. And then reverse the situation and hold back his arm. The rose looked at. The judge thought, I can't use it either. Body shaming with paralytic chondrosis. Maybe his power was. I can't think much. Surprisingly, the inflammation immediately ate the pond directly into the lower land. Make him breathe. It makes the people who are here look at it with horror. Sighed. The photographer gently reminded the sword not to kill. He immediately let go of his hand. He fell on the ground without moving. I think that makes you scared. The sword stared at her. And you remind me of you. Another woman, I hate you. Immediately in the house, A loud noise came out. Gen 2 immediately splashed out, attached to the wall pole, to surprise everyone. I look up and it hurts. She fell to the ground moaning. My father never hit me. The sword came coldly. Waiting for me to throw you out. Go find your father. When you go to court, you cry out in fear. At this time, the Red Cross came to stop him. Say, the young man is a man who must keep his way back. Justification and inflammation have desecrated today. I apologize to you for them. The sword was silent and said nothing. I want to know how to hold my breath. Suddenly, the sword returned to the photographer. But he shook his head. The sword just passes. Subordinates of the gods of the world. Hurry to call the lady. Everyone runs to the judge and says carefully. Then the judge turned and finished speaking. Then disperse. Then he transmits to the young man's sword that, with your power, I was listening to a teenager. It's a shame. If you're interested, after the party. Today, the end can come to the gods of our world. The doors of my people are always open, to welcome you at any time. The soul also says, Kwang Wei Kai became a recluse of the national, to make a turtle retract its head. Sooner or later, it will be destroyed. Only we can lead. The human race is in despair. The young man thought unpleasantly. What is he talking about? The photographer stepped up to speak. It's finally quiet. Don't let them affect your father's mood. And stop the baby. The child reluctantly agreed to meet. Smile and stop laughing. Don't let your stomach either. God as people dare to bully you. Just tell me one sentence. Let's see how we treat them. The father of Stop Nie is the Van Feng respectfully said. Thank you very much for helping me out. The photographer doesn't need air. We're going to deal with the gods tonight. Until then, be careful. The two were stunned and startled. Then the photographer laughed again. My father has just left before. He thought again. Hurry up and tell the 6-year-old. After a while, the AI also talked about the sword. Some people say fake superpowers. Others respond with super wings. Listen to the Regency order like that. The priest came back to ask for his opinion. The photographer didn't arrange a seat for the back of the sword. He looked at the sword behind him. They seemed to ask for consciousness. The sword shook its head. You said no, he didn't. Shocked right after watching the photographer think. What kind of person is he after all? What tricks did the photographer finally use? It makes him listen like that. He laughed industrially, called out to the high Chief Snow Feng. The world of squirrels, a glass of glass. Happy to bring the glass out. In my mind is a big character. And then a bunch of homeowners came running up and said, I respect you every time. Hai is happy to respond. The owners are too polite. I think in my heart, haha, there is a new power to be respected. Fortunately, there is a photographer. At this time, Van Fong also came forward to say that, hi, the owner also offered you a drink. He introduced Thieu. This is the girl who stopped Nie. A friend of the photographer. Missing Pepper stopped Nie, then barrel greeting. Hello, photographer. The old lady looked at her and said, hello, little friend. He laughed and said, I thank my master first to pay my respects. So he drank a glass of wine. The photographer thought, dare to show up for stopping. Without fear of offending God. The photographer. I'm not chasing my daughter into SAO. It's a teenage hero. So he went back and asked to stop. It's very much like choosing a daughter-in-law. He asked, I don't know where the current VI is. Stop it. Shy. Turn around, make the wind fade to answer. Instead, the girl has just reached the pinnacle of Kim 2. Maybe it's about to break through the golden star. Listen to this, the old man in the back, simultaneously screaming, golden 3-star. The Lord also praised you very much. Then think again, this endowment, it's not bad to be a photographer. Think about it. If you can't reach the owner's paradise. But stopping children is not bad. Stop the appearance of children is not bad. It is a talented woman. So he said, this guy is messing around all day. If the female spy has been her friend, then help me watch the glass. If you have time, come to my family. Stop blushing and shyly agree. Thank you, Chief, I will definitely come. Noble aesthetic photographer. Small families like us. It became the center of the church. Who could have expected that? On the side of the gods, everything is silent. No one cares. The party hasn't started yet. Master of the nations. We're all having fun together. Especially in the sky. Guests come to the wine glasses one after another. It's as if they're the leaders. The priest went over and told the photographer, how will this party be hosted by you? The photographer was surprised. You can also ask about the sow. He smiled and said there was no hurry. Get started now. After all, the owner of the city has not come. He said it was half an hour. The photographer turned around and said it was time to start. I don't know what the situation is, but he will lose 7. Sitting at the table by the judge, worried. He calculated in the heart of his family. We are being resisted by the snow. Today, I've accused another family photographer. They don't dare to talk to me. You look at the situation thinking, our family sits in the center. But still isolated. I'm not a face person, but... The judge is about to get angry. Then suddenly, there's a hand on the shoulder of the judge. Dean Hung said, brother, we haven't had a drink together in a long time. The judge was surprised to see the person say, Hero Yao. He handed me a large cup of wine. At the time of the party. Let's have a cup together. The surprised judge asked for the cup. Then he stood up with 8 big drinks and said, you are the guest. So the genie raised the glass of wine for a drink. Praise the hero. That's right. How good is 8 more quanta? The judge then raised the glass of wine and thought, the name of this hero is the Brotherhood of the Buddha. Even if he starts talking to me. But it's also hard to avoid suspicion. He said keep drinking. What does the judge think? This air feels abnormal. Cardboard SAO banquet organizer. He started to worry about the eucalyptus. Are you finally dead? If what IP Han says is true, the snow is sure. Will be promoted to a new owner. Next in the party this time. If not dead, then now. It's time for the Buddha to deal with us. But he didn't show up. It must have been poisoned a long time ago. He's lost his life. They just don't dare to publish. Let's see how long you can hide it. Keep drinking. Beauty Salon Master of Kwang Wei Kai City. All gathered here, waiting for you to show up. But in the presence of the person in front of you. The judge thought again, I don't see any sadness in this hero. 10 annoying pink whispers. Maybe even Hao Yan Hung didn't know this news. Why would I want to see? What do you want to do? Late at night, other areas of Kwang Wei Kai City. It's quiet down. Only the city government's torch is brighter. The whole world suffers. Right now, a man wrapped in cloth ran into the city. He's running and breathing, and he's looking around the box. He thought there were more guards on the way. A slightly unusual feeling. Keep running, he said in front of me. It's the banquet hall. Then suddenly, 2 guards stopped and said, Stop. People who are not involved cannot enter the city.